I'm Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. People are using Facebook less as the social network star lost its shine. Not so gentle giants find out why people in Botswana are celebrating the return of elephant hunting. Will these whales finally be freed? And the wonders of science in a very viral video. And top of our newsfeed, Facebook. The Guardian's reporting that there's been a significant drop in how the site is being used. Facebook says it keeps adding new users, but in a very unscientific poll conducted among the newsfeed team this morning, only one of us had actually opened their Facebook page today. Here's Rahul with more.
Who even uses Facebook anymore? The number of hours spent on the site has decreased, but there are still apparently more than 2 billion active users across the globe. There are a few things that could be influencing that decline. First, there are privacy concerns. In 2018, a series of glitches published the private posts of 14 million users, and hackers were able to access and steal personal information of nearly 15 million accounts. They collected texts and phone call records without users' consent. Then there's a use or misuse of Facebook during election campaigns, the Cambridge Analytica scandal, and the promotion of fake news and hate speech. That's not even the whole list, but could it also be because users are just losing interest? A poll found that Facebook had 15 million fewer users this year than it did in 2017, and that's just in the US. Analytics firms have also pointed out that likes, shares, and posts have dropped by almost 20% since the privacy scandals began last year. To try and stay relevant, Facebook is launching a digital currency. Libra is intended to be a currency that can be transferred via social media.
The Bank of England approaches Libra with an open mind, but not an open door. Unlike social media, for which standards and regulations are only now being debated and legislated, well after they've been adopted by billions of users, the terms of engagement for innovations like Libra must be adopted well in advance of any launch.
Facebook's new initiative has plenty of other critics. Matt Stoller at the Open Markets Institute says its global currency initiative is ridiculous. He says Facebook already has a bad track record of complying with laws and protecting privacy, and that doesn't instill much confidence in complying with counterfeiting, fraud, and other banking laws. But Facebook sees itself as a good Samaritan in all this. It says Libra will help its users around the world who don't have a bank account. It's expected that the company will run into a number of regulatory hurdles and antitrust concerns.
And I know that right now some of you are asking, you're going, Trevor, how can we trust that Facebook's currency will be secure? Because, guys, they said they promise.
Users have already seen what Facebook has done with their personal information. So are its promises enough to get them to trust the company with their money?
All right, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. Now, this video of a 5-year-old walking on running blades for the first time is being shared. It's from an account called Movement for Maya. Maya Wilkinson contracted influenza B and viral myocystis last year, and she had to have her arms and legs amputated. Her parents had hoped that Maya could take 1 or 2 steps at her first go, but as you can see, she's well adapted to those blades. Some 20,000 Christians signed a petition to have Amazon's show Good Omens cancelled. It's a TV drama based on a novel by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, which the group says makes Satanism appear normal. But the folks from the Return to Order mission in Pittsburgh sent the request for cancellation to Netflix. Oops. And police in California have unveiled their new crime-fighting tool, RoboCop. They say it's an autonomous data machine fitted with 360-degree video cameras tasked with keeping an eye on the public. Creepy, but it's also polite as it rolls down the footpath. It says a number of recorded phrases like "excuse me" and "have a good day." Yeah, nice. Now, they've been held in prison for months. Whale prison, that is. A Russian company has finally started releasing valuable orcas that it held in captivity. But they didn't really do it of their own free will. It took some serious social outcry.
We have made a decision after the recommendation of scientists that the animals will be released in the areas where they've been captured. This will take at least 4 months.
From the very beginning, the relocation operation is very stressful for the animals. They're being pulled out of the water and put into some basins. To relieve the stress, trainers that they're familiar with will be near them. An animal needs to be in contact with a person it trusts.
And in more whale news, scientists have made a rare discovery that expands their understanding of the giant mammals. Well, that is the sound of a northern right whale singing or calling or whatever it is doing, making whale noises. It's never been recorded before. The northern right is one of the most elusive whales on the planet, so this recording captured in the Bering Sea is significant. Scientists say it makes a variety of calls. The most predominant one sounds like a gunshot, they say, but that's a bit sinister as the northern right was nearly hunted to extinction. There are only 30 of them thought to be left. So this may be the last song we hear from them. All right, let's go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Friday. The island of Sommerø in Norway could become the land that time forgot. People who live there want to do away with restrictive and stuffy 24 hours in a day and use time more as a concept. Now, the sun doesn't set at this latitude for 69 days of the year, so people who live here are like, why does 3 a.m. mean we should be at home in bed when it's daytime outside? Let's get out the canoe. The idea is being considered. Will the people of Sommerø get what they want? Only time will tell. Young people are growing what are described variously as horns, spikes, or weird bumps at the base of their skull, and scientists in Australia say it's because of the overuse of mobile devices causing bad posture. They've been looking at human physiology and have seen the addition of a piece of bone on the skull. They say the weight of the head, constantly bent over phones, has caused bones to grow over ligaments and tendons, hence the weird bump. It's another example of how technology is fundamentally changing humanity. And that is 2 US Navy pilots encountering something they could not explain at 8,000 meters in the sky. And now senators in the United States are getting classified briefings on the increasing number of unexplained sightings their military personnel are reporting. Now, this thing was captured on a camera using the best technology the US military has available. It was filmed around 2014, and the Navy haven't said it was a glitch on the camera. They haven't said anything at all, but that thing on the screen is moving faster than the F-18 Hornet jet that's filming it, and it's moving against the wind. And this is Marijuana Pepsi Van Dyke, and she's just been awarded a doctorate for her dissertation entitled Black Names in White Classrooms, Teacher Behaviors and Student Perceptions. She works at a college in Milwaukee as the director of a program helping low-income students. Her mother, called Maggie or Brandy, called her daughter Marijuana Pepsi as she said it would help take her around the world. Now, the UN has released details of the last moments of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi's life. He was killed at the Saudi embassy here in Istanbul in October. The UN recommends an investigation into the high-ranking Saudi officials they say sanctioned the killing.
Will it be possible to put the trunk in a bag?
No, too heavy. Joints will be separated. It is not a problem. The body is heavy. It's the first time I'm cutting on the ground. If we take plastic bags and cut it into pieces, it will be finished. We will wrap them individually.
Has the sacrificial animal arrived?
What should I say? See you soon? I can't say kidnapping.
Cut it short. Take off your jacket.
How could this happen in an embassy? I will not write anything.
Type it, Mr. Jamal. Hurry up. Help us so that we can help you, because in the end, we will take you back to Saudi Arabia. And if you don't help us, you know what will happen in the end. Let this issue find a good end.
Are you going to give me drugs?
We will anesthetize you. Has he slept? Raise his head. Keep pushing. Push here. Don't remove your hand. Push it.
Conservationists were angry when Botswana lifted its ban on elephant hunting last month. They say the country with the most elephants in Africa should be celebrating its conservation successes, but many locals are cheering the return of hunting.
About 130,000 elephants roam Botswana, 10 times more than 50 years ago, thanks to successful conservation policies. But locals living alongside them in Chobe district aren't celebrating. They say the 5,000 kilogram creatures are killing their crops, livestock and livelihoods.
The elephant came from this direction in the forest, started eating my crops, and then it was the time when I shot it with one bullet, and it ran over there where you saw the carcasses there, and it fell there. Died there.
They're now fair game after the government lifted its 5-year ban on elephant hunting last month. Conservationists are up in arms, but it's been welcomed by those who've lost loved ones. Dorcas's brother was killed.
He stabbed on his chest, his liver burst, his hind rib broke, and that is what caused the death.
Wildlife-based tourism is the second largest contributor to Botswana's economy.
All they're interested in is to come and see those animals. Yet they just see them for a few minutes or for a few hours, and they go back where they're comfortable. We're in trouble. Something really needs to be done.
Many conservationists say protecting elephants is a moral imperative, but locals argue their lives should come first.
And last up, take a look at this. Now, science class looks way more fun than when I was at school. This experiment is apparently called elephant toothpaste, and it happens when hydrogen peroxide is mixed with potassium iodide. This video of that thing happening has been watched millions of times for reasons I'm sure you can agree are worth it. That'll be all from the Newsfeed team. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. You will see me again tomorrow.